new Central Arkansas head coach, John Shulman, a guy that I have a long-standing relationship with, going back all the way to his days at Chattanooga, and then he was at McCallie High School a little bit in Chattanooga, private school, Ted Turner alum, by the way, and then has recently left Alabama Huntsville to go to Central Arkansas. And I think there's a lot of people, John, that are excited to have you back in the Division I circle. How did this job come about? Because in your press conference, you said we were in the NCAA tournament with Alabama Huntsville, the Division II NCAA tournament. And it was kind of a difficult transition because these things happen quick these days. How did this job come about? How fast did it occur? And what drew you to Conway?
Well, all right. You know, I'm an old timer. I mean, we do go way back all the way to that team camp, your junior year at Bradley Central, when you acted like a nut job at our team camp. But we won't talk about that on that podcast. All right. But you were a good player. And if you came out now, you'd be making a lot of money there, Terrence. I'll just be honest with you. We were, listen, you know, I was 9 years head coach at Chattanooga. And I really felt, after looking back on it, I wasn't bitter anymore. I got better. And I didn't think I did a very good job. We went to 2 NCAA tournaments, won 4 regular season titles. I didn't do it how I wanted it done. Had regrets there, went to Alabama Huntsville and exercised all my demons. All right. And we got kids I could coach, and we got great kids, and we started coaching skill, and we went 112-39, and we won 4 titles, and we went to 5 NCAA tournaments in 5 years. And I had tried to, you know, what are we in this thing for? We're in it to impact kids, but if you're a competitive dude, you do want to get back to that Division I level.
Sure.
And maybe to exercise my demons a little bit more. And we got an opportunity. You know, I had talked to some people, but always come in second or third. So I just kind of, going into my last year at Huntsville, I just said, I'm just going to keep my head down and work. Whatever happens, happens. Last regular season game of the year at Valdosta State, we go 12 for 18 from the 3-point line in the first half. It was a good day. Yep. I get a text from the athletic director here at Central Arkansas. Would you have some interest? Yeah, the biggest problem is I've never been to Arkansas in my life. And so 8 days later, me and my wife get on a plane and fly to Little Rock and sneak up to Conway. And we're in a bad frame of mind, didn't want to be on the trip because we were exhausted from the GSC tournament, and fell in love with the people, and fell in love with the community, and fell in love with the school. And I saw facilities that just needed to be dusted off a little bit. Play on Scottie Pippen Court, you know, got 5,000 seat arena, got a practice facility, got an amazing locker room. And the biggest thing to me, Terrence, was they've had 1 winning season in 18 years. And I went, oh my God, that is heaven. Yeah. And you go, what have you lost your mind? Listen, when you follow Jeff Lebo and Matt McCarthy at Chattanooga, and you follow Lenny Acuff at Huntsville, that's hard to be in those shadows.
Sure.
I'm excited to go into a program that we can kind of put our stamp on it and do it how we want to do it, and not have to follow John Wooden. You know, you don't want to follow John Wooden, and they've had their difficulties out here, but that's fine. It's time for kind of a new chapter. And, you know, like I told a buddy of mine when I came back off the visit, if they want me, I'm going. And you say, why? It's kind of like recruiting, Terrence. I didn't have anybody call the AD. How about that? In this day and age that we're in, I did not have one person call the AD and say, hey man, will you pump me? Terrence, will you call Dr. Teague and tell him how great I didn't have one person call. And I did it for a reason. I was fine at Huntsville. I was happy. My family was happy. Everything was good. We were rocking and rolling. If they wanted me for me, that was all I needed to know. And they wanted me for me. And there's not a whole lot of people in this world want me for me, just to be honest. And I've worked hard and grinded my whole career. And now I'm in Conway, Arkansas, and really couldn't be happier.
That's great. That's great. So when you got out of Chattanooga, and I just kind of want to revert back to this, you said I wanted to get better, not and not be bitter. I love that saying. And then you look at that year away in 2013, you took a director of sales job just to get out for a year, and then you go to McCallie. Was this kind of evolving thing? You said you wanted skill. Was it kind of something where it was a little bit introspective? It took a little bit of time to kind of re-engineer what you wanted to do, or how did this go about, this change of philosophy? Because I remember at Chattanooga, there were a lot of big time athletes, chin at the rim guys.
Yes.
At Huntsville, not the case.
All
And
right.
and it's different offensive philosophies. I'm not going to open the floor up and just jam it down people's throat. I'm going to have a lot of ball movement. I'm going to shoot threes. We're going to find open opportunities. This came about how?
Well, I did. I wanted to get out of coaching
Yeah,
because
I remember you and I talking about that. Like I
it
needed a little
drove
bit
me
of a break.
crazy. It drove me crazy. Coaching drove me crazy, and I wanted to get out of it. And then I was out of it. I did some ESPN games that one year, and I was like, I was decent at it, but I didn't want to be on that side. I wanted to be on the other side. I want to be back in coaching. And coaching's not a job; it's a calling. If you really truly love coaching, it is a calling. But when I went to McCallie, I made a deal with my family. I chose family over profession. And my boys wanted to be in Chattanooga and they wanted to go to McCallie. So I was going to stay in Chattanooga. What was I going to do? I don't know. But I miss coaching so bad. It didn't matter. I could have gone to a middle school. I just want to coach. So I went to McCallie. We won a lot of games and we pressed, and I had football guys. So I kind of took the guys that had, and we were Nova Southeastern. We were crazy. And we won 100 games in 4 years. It was really cool, but I wasn't meant, I don't think, for high school. I was antsy.
Mm-hmm.
And then got fortunate. My oldest son was already playing at Alabama Huntsville, and they had a coaching change, and Lenny Acuff goes to Lipscomb. And so I was fortunate enough to go to Alabama Huntsville as a head coach. I get down there, and we had 17 Caucasians and one little chunky black guy that couldn't touch the rim. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? Put in some spread stuff for 2 hours and a little dribble drive, and we scored 2 baskets in 2 hours. And I went, I'm going to get fired before my first game. I had an assistant on the staff, Anthony Camara, who was a Princeton guy. Mm-hmm. For the first time, Terrence, just be honest, this is what happens as you get older, is you don't need to be the smartest guy in the room anymore. And I wasn't. And I was okay with that. At Chattanooga, I had to be the smartest guy in the room. Look at me, everybody. I'm the head coach. Look at me. And I finally matured enough to realize that I wasn't very good. And I let other people be good around me. Surround yourself with success and you'll be successful. And so I learned the Princeton offense on the fly. And I drank the Kool-Aid. And I didn't drink it early. We got beat by Valdosta State earlier in that year. I went, well, we should have. Look at what they got. Look what we got. We look like a debate team. Well, that little debate team went 26-5 and won the GSC tournament that year. And I went, oh my gosh, man. So if you're telling me we can get kids with great skill that want to be at Alabama Huntsville that will outwork people, we can win games. It was fun. Coaching became fun for me for the first time in really my career. Everything else was okay. It wasn't fun. It was hard. At Huntsville, it wasn't hard for the first time. And I really enjoyed coaching skill. I really enjoyed coaching kids that really wanted to be in our program and not have to sell my soul. And that's what it's difficult not to in today's recruiting world, sure, but not sell my soul for a kid to come make a shot for us, for me to win. At Chattanooga, I would tell everybody, it was about me. It was about me and my contract and me, and am I going to move up? At Alabama Huntsville, it became about the kids. And when you do that, but I was also a little older, when you do that and becomes about the kids for the right reasons, I think kind of success accidentally follows you, just to be honest.
I love that. I had a wise man once told me, I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room, but I have to be able to regulate the smart people in the room.
Yeah.
And that's what head coaching is. That's a big thing.
Well, it's managing people,
sure,
coaching people and impacting people. One of my greatest accomplishments, I think, was I've got Ricky Cabrera as the head coach at Northwestern State. I got Casey Long and Rico White at LSU with Matt McMahon. But that young kid that helped me with the Princeton offense is now the head basketball coach at Montevallo. And he probably, one of the reasons he got that job was I gave him power. You give people power, regulate it to a point, but you give people responsibility and power, they're either going to sink or swim.
Yep.
And this dude swam, and this dude, we were, no doubt, we were as good as we were. It was not because of me. It was because of the people around me. And so I learned the Princeton offense. Can you imagine John Shulman and me running the, Princeton offense? Listen, I'm a PE major from East Tennessee State. I can't even spell it. But we can run it now. And then now my oldest child, who was a little kid when you came to team camp, played for us at Huntsville and became kind of my offense coordinator last year at Huntsville. And we were fortunate. That was going to be the only deal breaker coming to Central Arkansas. I wanted to bring him with me, but he's got my last name, and I didn't know about the nepotism deal here. But it worked out. So Max Shulman is my offense coordinator, and I've got great people around me. And we kept two guys that were on the previous staff at Central Arkansas, both of them Arkansas guys. And because we did that, it wasn't my ego. I'm going to bring in my guys. I'm going to, forget that. Because we did that, we just signed a number 20th ranked point guard in America from Arkansas and the 34th ranked two guard in America from Arkansas. And we would have never done that if I didn't open up my brain a little bit and stop being Mr. Ego Man. And we all got egos. But as you get older, your ego kind of goes away a little bit, because look at me. I don't look as good as I used to a long time ago, and don't move as good, but I still got that passion. I still got energy.
If you haven't heard by now, we have partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook. We're going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 throughout the year. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, you can use bonus code FIELD, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. The best part, all you need to do is deposit and bet $10 of your own hard-earned money to be eligible. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using that bonus code FIELD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. BetMGM is going to have some fun offers available throughout the NBA playoffs. Bet insurance tokens, odds boost, and what I love, a nice parlay boost or two from time to time, as well as a ridiculous array of player prop bets for any sport that you could possibly imagine betting on. BetMGM is and always will be the king of the prop bet. So go download the BetMGM app, use the bonus code FIELD, and sign up today. And while I've got you, a quick request. The best way to support the Field of 68 content that you get for free is to engage with us. Rate and review the podcast. Like and share the YouTube videos. Tell your friends about us. It all helps in a world where the algorithm is king. And now, back to the show.
I love it. You alluded to recruiting. I was reading where was it the third highest scoring guard in Arkansas all time just signed there for you guys. Alluding to that, and you alluded to bringing in certain guys. College basketball landscape's hard now. It's different, especially for low and mid majors. It's a difficult situation. What are some of the difficulties of this job at Central Arkansas? And then after that, what are some of the positives? You alluded to the only one winning season in the last 18 years. That's hard. And as you know, Jason Reuter, who's now had some success at Bradley, he used to say, you're at the bottom of the ocean. You can only go left, right, or up. So like, what are the difficulties and what are the positives at Central Arkansas as you move forward with this new kind of journey? And I guess occupation's a weird way to put it, but this new job.
The difficulties. Listen, I look at things different now. I'm a positive guy. Lebo called me the other day. Jeff called me and went, man, you hanging in there? I was like, Jeff, I'm so happy being back on this level. I'm not going to let any of this discourage me. And I'm not. You know, we pick and choose our mental state every single day. And I've done a poor job of that the majority of my life. I'm not going to let that happen this time because I worked too hard to get back to this level.
Sure.
All right. Let that, but just the stigma, you know, hey man, I didn't really understand that, you know, like we're one of the worst 20 jobs in the country, you know, our program. But I don't care. You know, I went in to see the AD. I was like, I want you to understand we're planning on winning and winning big here. And he looked at me and I said, next year. And he said, you've lost your mind. We've only had one winning season in the last 18 years. And I said, I don't care. I don't have time, Terrence, to have this as a 4-year rebuild. You don't have 4-year rebuilds anymore. So the biggest difficulty was convincing really Arkansas kids who want to stay. Arkansas has got a very Kentucky feel. I'd never been here before, but it's got a very Kentucky feel. And I say that is that kids love the game of basketball. And in Kentucky, they want to play at the University of Kentucky. They want to be in Kentucky. They leave, go somewhere. They always transfer back to Kentucky. That's why Georgetown College was so good back in the day. All right. But Arkansas has got the same feel. Mm-hmm. And all these kids were leaving Arkansas because really nobody valued skill here. And so they had to go to a Florida Atlantic. They had to go to different places to get that. Well, we need to be the destination. We need to be the destination in this state of Arkansas to value skill. And so you've got 2 kids, they're ranked number 3 and 4 in the state of Arkansas that are really skilled guys. And all of a sudden, Dusty May goes to Michigan and we got an opportunity. And now we got 2 dudes with great skill that are coming to Central Arkansas and they have big names here. So all of a sudden it was going to take, I didn't know how bad the stigma of UCA basketball was, but I was like, oh my God, we're going to have to go like to foreign countries to get guys that, you know, hey man, all I can say is we're a university in Arkansas. Oh man, you're University of Arkansas? I didn't say that. We're a university in Arkansas. Hey, we're a university in Arkansas. All right, cool, man. I'll just go to a university in Arkansas. I didn't tell them we were in Central Arkansas. But with these 2 kids coming, it completely, I guess speeds up the process because now, like the rest of the state of Arkansas is looking at these 2 kids going, wow, like you all went to Central Arkansas. So that part is now over, which is huge. But, you know, when I came out here, I wasn't coming to Central Arkansas. I didn't know anything about it. We flew in here and saw an unbelievable campus. 10,000 students, very vibrant and beautiful. And then you walk into the Fair Center, you got over 5,000 seat arena with Scottie Pippen on the court and with the practice facility and with the brand new $300,000 locker room, team meeting room and player lounge. And we got a weight room in the basketball facility. And no offense to volleyball, but there are no volleyball lines on our court. You say, why? How? Well, we got a volleyball center on campus. And so the only people that use our facility are men's and women's basketball. So you don't think those are positives? Those are absolute positives. You know, someone said, how, you know, I can't believe y'all are moving to Conway, Arkansas. My family is, I want everybody needs to understand this and everybody needs to have this philosophy. Your family, your home is where your family is. Mm-hmm. You know, my home, I was born in Johnson City, Tennessee. My dad died when I was 25. My mom died when I was 26. All right. So that's not my home. I mean, that's not my home. That's where I was born. Mm-hmm. We spent 17 years in Chattanooga. I mean, that's getting closer to home, but I don't have people there. My people are in Huntsville, Alabama. Now my people are going to be in Conway, Arkansas. So my home, Terrence, is Conway, Arkansas, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
I love it. And I got one more for you, and this might be a little bit off the beaten path, but my wife is a huge fan of Orange is the New Black. And people don't know this, Coach. People don't know this. We got to bring it to the forefront. Your sister is Yoga Jones, Constance Shulman. Yes. Did it make the show better or did it make it worse with your sister playing such a big role?
I was praying to God that I would not see my sister naked in a scene. All right. And so you bring that up. It's funny. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I mean, we're just East Tennessee rednecks from Johnson City that had big dreams. And I'm living my dream every single day. That's why I am a fortunate and blessed human. But my sister Connie was in a bunch of stuff. But Orange is the New Black, here comes Orange is the New Black. And she was like, I got lucky. I got this part because she talks like a redneck from East Tennessee. All right. And she was coming out. It was funny. She was like, there was a scene where she was coming out of the shower and they said, you know, Connie, you come out of the shower and you're going to take a left and go down there. And she was like, listen, can I put a towel on? They were like, Connie, no, you got to go out. And they were like, nobody wants to see my body. I'm a 6-year-old woman. Nobody wants to see my, all right, put a towel on. Thank God they made her put a towel on. Right? Thank God. Or I wouldn't have been able to watch the show. But she is, she really, she had a great time with it. And I think she got wrote off. She got on a bus and got wrote off the show in season 7 or season 6, one of them. But it's pretty cool being able to watch a show and say, hey, that's my, but it's so normal to them, Terrence. It's like you're watching a Law and Order and she's on a Law and Order, or she was on the Blacklist. You know, her husband was the DA on the Blacklist and got shot and killed. And I hated the guy. God, I hated him. And I was so happy that he got shot. I called her. I was like, you tell Reed, I'm so happy he was just shot and killed on the Blacklist. But it's just normal life to them, just to be honest, being on a Law and Order just to make a little extra money so she can afford her apartment in New York City. But I'm glad that your wife watches it. It's completely inappropriate, and we like inappropriate TV.
I like it. Well, Coach Shulman, this has been great. Thank you for taking the time, hanging out with me. Feels like old times almost. So I'm happy for you to get this fresh opportunity. Let's get some wins in Central Arkansas.
We need some wins because I'd like to stay out here more than a couple of years. So we need some wins. But I appreciate you, proud of you, and glad you're doing what you're doing. Appreciate what you're doing for the game.